Hi everyone, Mike here. Hopefully you're having a good day. And today I'm sharing with you how to handle the pressure of showing up consistently. Because it happens a lot, if you're on camera every day, if you've got blogs to write, books to write, content to create, people to sell to, people to work with. If you're a service-based business owner, you want to deliver your service and do everything that happens around it. So you can start to feel the pressure. You can start to weigh you down. Level of responsibility can wear you down, wear you out, and kick you to the curb sometimes if you don't know how to handle it. Okay, so pressure has a couple of things involved with it. All right. So firstly, it's physical. It's a physical reaction to how you're feeling. So whether you carry your tension in your muscles, in your back, in your chest, in your legs, in your knees, you'll find somewhere where you carry your stress. So for me, it's in my neck and it's in my back. They're the two main places where I personally carry my stress. So I know that if my neck's a bit tight, if my back's a bit sore, maybe it's a bit achy, maybe my legs feel a bit heavy because my back's having to work harder, then I know that I need to start looking after myself even more. I know that the pressure and the stress is building up to a point whereby I've got to do something about it. I've got to take action, physical action, whether it's physical exercise, whether it's stretching, yoga, going out for walks, something to keep myself loose, something to keep myself strong, loose, and physically capable of handling the pressure. All right. So it's a physical thing that you've got to actually put plans in for to be able to handle it. Because what people don't realize are influencers, celebrities, big names in industries that you want to work in. If you want to be an expert in your field, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. Millions of people, thousands of people, even hundreds of people are hearing what you have to say and are taking it as gospel or important or knowledgeable or something that they are going to take and use to better themselves in some way, then there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And if you can't handle it physically because it's draining, it's wearing you out, you can't get enough sleep, which is another thing that you could do, focus on your sleep, then it's going to have a knock-on effect on you mentally. Because if you struggle physically, it will knock on effect mentally. All right. Most of us will make pretty good decisions until we're tired, until we're worn out, until we're sore, until we're fatigued. Then our head starts to run wild. Then we have a hard time mentally because we can't physically keep up with the demands of our head. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing you've got to think about is what can you do mentally to be able to handle it? Whether it's detaching from the outcome, whether it's not worrying about who sees it, how many people see it, and you do it because you love to do it. You do it because you love to help people. The responsibility and the pressure can come from looking at how many people have seen it, looking at who's seen it, looking at the comments. So there needs to be a level of detachment that allows you to keep doing it while also having that emotional drive and motivation to keep doing it. Because if you detach too much, you start to think, well, I'm not bothered if I don't do it today. It doesn't matter. So you want to make it matter just enough for you to take the steps and take the action, all the while being detached from the outcome, because you can't control it. And this is the thing. One of the keys to overcoming pressure and responsibility is knowing what matters, knowing what doesn't, knowing what you can control, being okay with what you can't control, and navigating that. The Venn diagram, right? Everything overlaps. What matters, what doesn't, what's important, what doesn't, detaching from the outcome just enough to allow you to be consistent, or making it matter just enough so that you can make sure that you do your best. Because that's all anyone can want, that's all anyone can ask for, but you want to do both. So you're in the contradiction here. Has to matter, but also not matter. has to be important, but also not important. You've got to ride the line between all those things and go backwards and forwards. So no matter when you do it, put the effort in when you do it, but then after that, it's like, woo, that's it. What happens now has got nothing to do with me. What happens now has got nothing to do with me. Same thing if people hate your stuff. So you do your best. You put it out there, best intentions. Someone says, I don't agree. That's awful. You sound shocking. You can't attach to those things any more than you should attach to the positive comments as well. Because if you overvalue comments, what happens is you value everything, positivity and negativity, because you don't know what you're looking at. So you don't know if it's going to be a positive comment or a negative one until you look. But if you go, oh, I love to see what people say, I can't wait, and it's like you sound like I don't know, you sound like you're chewing bees 24/7, that's going to impact you because you wanted it to be good. There's the expectation there. And that's the last thing I want to say. If you have high expectations of yourself, you are going to struggle. No doubt about that. You're going to struggle because some days you might not be able to meet your expectations. Some days you might be able to surpass them and overwhelm the whole planet, because you've completely overwhelmed your own expectations of yourself and you've put the effort in and everyone has benefited from it. But if you expect that every day, when you have a bad day, we all have bad days. I have bad days. You know, I have days when I don't want to wake up. I have days when I do stuff that I don't really want to do. I have days when I go on videos and do lives when I don't really want to do them. And I'm talking myself into it, right? I've got to talk myself, I've got to force myself to do it, because of the responsibility. Because when you have a bad day, you might still have to do it. When you have a bad day, you might still have to show up every day, even on your bad days. All right, so that's that. Now, before I go, there's a couple of things that we can do to make this easier. So think about it. What would showing up every day look like if it was easy? What would it look like if it was easy? So for me, it's doing things in batches, doing like all my videos in one day, all my podcasts in one day, maybe two, depending on how busy I am. Doing all my content in a day, or coming up with what I talk about during a day. And I do my whole week. We're in a position whereby we can schedule things out, we can pre-do things, do a week's worth of videos in a day, week's worth of podcasts in a day, week's worth of interviews in a day. I know someone that does interviews on one day a week and that's it. You could do 5, you could do 7, and he schedules them out and he makes sure that he's done them all, and that's done. So don't just think about the physical, don't just think about the mental. I want to think about how can you make this easier, because it's not easy. It's not, okay? I'm not gonna lie. It does get easier the more you do it. It's got easier for me over the years, but for some people, particularly when they're breaking into this routine of showing up every day, it can get difficult. So you want to start with convenience in mind, start with consistency in mind, and don't worry about the lighting and how everything looks. Just do it first. Get into the habit first. Get into the routine of showing up every day first, and then start worrying about what little tweaks can you make to the quality of what you do. What little tweaks can you make? All right, it's just as important to do it every day, just as important for this to be not a pitch black room right now. Okay, so there are like foundations that you want to meet, but chances are you'll do those anyway. Chances are you will cover those bases anyway. Make it easy, make it convenient, make it less complicated, structure everything that way, and fit in everything else that I said before can be a great way of being able to engineer your week so that you never actually feel the pressure of showing up consistently. Now, the responsibility comes about what I said before, about not having those expectations, not getting attached or too attached to the outcome, and not worrying about what you can't control. Okay, so I hope that helps. Let me know if you do have any questions. Those of you that are on YouTube, hello, YouTube's amazing. If you love the channel, feel free to subscribe. Loads of videos are happening on YouTube now. That's one of my main focuses now, is doing a lot more videos for YouTube. So if you want to subscribe so you don't miss any others, feel free to do that. Love to have you here. Have an amazing day. I look forward to chatting to you again soon.